Hi guys, this is CoinGirl and welcome to another crypto video. I started this series called Bitcoin for Beginners and this is the second out of this series. And in my previous video, which was the first, I was talking about Bitcoin, when it started, what it is and what are its advantages. And you probably heard me saying the word blockchain a few times, and that's why I want to go in a bit more detail with you today. In order for you to understand what blockchains or what the blockchain is, you need to understand how the Bitcoin is created. And I've mentioned in my previous video, but I'm going to mention it again. Bitcoin is created through a process called mining. And I'm not talking about the traditional mining of, I don't know, diamond or charcoal or Minecraft. I'm talking about computational mining that solves mathematical puzzle or equation, and it uses performant and fast computers, and or also you can use a piece of technology, equipment. I think it's hardware. It's called miner. The miners solve these mathematical equations. They discover the block and they publish it in the blockchain. And the network pays the miners 12.5 bitcoins, because that's how they generate 12.5 bitcoins, and they pay the miners for discovering and putting hard work to do so. And the average time between the blocks of information is around 10 minutes, sometimes can last longer. And if it lasts longer, all the transactions that were made after the block was discovered, they will go into the next block. And you probably heard me say now, block of information. Well, block of information is literally a block of information. It contains information about itself. And if we go on blockchain.info, you can see the latest 4 discovered blocks, published blocks. So let's go on the latest, for example. Excuse me. It's quite difficult to load. I don't know why this is, but it's not really my problem. Anyway, we have the information we need right now. So on the left-hand side, we have a summary, and it contains the number of transactions. So for instance, in this particular block, there were 2,537. So 2,537 transactions. Output total represents the number of bitcoins transacted bitcoins within 2,537 transactions. And this is the estimated transaction volume. It contains the fees. Timestamp, for example, represents the time when the block was discovered. And here we see who discovered it. And this situation is BTCC pool. And if we scroll a bit more down, you see that the block reward is, as I mentioned, 12.5 Bitcoin. Just so you know, I've changed the block because the previous one was not loading, which is an important part I want to show you. And I chose another block. And on the right-hand side here, it's very important to note that this block contains information from the previous block. And now what's the block in front of it? You know, this weird string of characters represents its ID. And it's important to know because this is how the blocks are chained. They have information from one to another. And why it's important? Because once they're published, it's irreversible and it cannot be modified. And even if someone finds a way to modify, or I don't know, to find a fake block or modify an existing block with fake information, then all the computers that are mining will reject this fake information because they can't validate it with the information they have from everything prior to this block. So it's a pretty impossible process or system to break. This makes it very secure. I know it's a bit confusing, this all information, and it's quite confusing for me too sometimes, and I'm still new. I hope my explanation was quite good though. But all you need to know is that the blockchain is a public ledger that records every transaction ever made using Bitcoin from the moment it was created up until this point. And that's about it. Now, if we think of a real life situation where the blockchain could apply, let's say you want to buy a car and the owner of that car says, well, this car has X mileage and the oil was changed regularly and has regular insurance, all that information that you can't really verify straight away, can you? So after you purchase the car, in case you do, after you purchase the car, you go to the manufacturer to check the information and see when the car was created, what mileage it has. And then you go to a garage or you go to a service, an auto service, and they tell you, I don't know if it has any problems. Then you go to the insurance company and verify when the car was last insured, and all these sorts of things that you can't verify before transaction. And it would be great, wouldn't it, to have a system where all the information, for example, in the situation is about a car, all the information about this car were recorded in a blockchain, which is a system that doesn't permit modifications once it's been published. So everything related to when the car was produced, to its initial color, all the owners, when it had the insurance, oil changes, all these things, it will be recorded, can be recorded within a blockchain system. And I want you to think of some situations where you think the blockchain will apply and make your life easier. Because think how easy it would be to have this technology, I guess, new technology at our fingertips. The owner of the car says one thing and you can straight verify it by maybe scanning a QR code and seeing the information within seconds. So yeah, leave me your comments. I'm actually curious to see and read where you think you will use a blockchain technology. I have a few ideas of my own, but I'm curious what other people think. I guess that's it for today, guys. So if you have any questions, don't forget to ask. I hope you're gonna like the video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Don't forget to follow me on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And I'll see you next time with hopefully another useful video. Take care. Bye.